All right. Hey, everybody. Today is February 11th. This is Earth Science. I'm Mr. Sheridan. I hope you're all having a great day. I'd like to go through some of the instructions and talk about the project that is due tomorrow. So in our last summative, where we focused on an ancient civilization or your own fictional civilization, what you were asked to do was to create a slide deck. So I'm going to do this kind of like you see it on your iPad in that. So we had some slides over here. We're going to call it 5 slides. So you had, let's say it took 5 slides just to describe your civilization. That you're talking about their climate, you're talking about their population, the natural resources they use, the food they use, what we talked about climate. And so you had these. We also talked about the effect of climate on the population, the effect of natural hazards on the population, and actually we're going to write these down. We're going to talk about the climate. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to write over that in black. I'm just going to make it all black so it's easier to see. So the 3 things that we had to relate our civilization to, we had to talk about the climate and how it affected the population. So we're talking about affected the pop. Okay, climate, natural hazards, and natural resources. So those are the 3 things that we covered, and you're going to see those again. You're still going to have to cover these things. Okay, so then after that, then what you were asked to do was to create at least, this would take somewhere around 3 slides, where you were comparing your civilization to other civilizations throughout Earth's history. So ideally, if you wanted full credit, you were comparing to 3 separate civilizations. So compare to civils. Okay. So your presentation that you should have turned in last Wednesday had slides describing and how these 3 things affected the population. Okay. So you described your civilization and how it was affected by climate, natural hazards, and natural resources. Then after that, you spent at least a few slides talking about how your civilization compared to others in human history. How was the climate the same? So if you had an island population, a lot of you've done that. I wanted you to compare your climate to one civilization. So you can say, okay, my civilization is like Hawaii in terms of climate because X, Y, and Z. Then on a different slide, my civilization is like Puerto Rico in terms of natural hazards. They have to deal with hurricanes and winds and super lots of rain and all that good stuff. The mudslides, all the natural hazards that island populations have to deal with. Then on another slide, my civilization is like Costa Rica in terms of natural resources because it's a jungle and they have all kinds of, so they've got lots of wood, they have palm trees and that sort of thing, but they don't have a lot of arable land, so we can't grow a lot of stuff, but we can, figure that stuff out. That's what I was looking for in this section. Now what I'm asking you to do, so that was, boom, this all over here, this was last Wednesday. Now what I'm asking you to do is add on to this. Which color do you think we can see? How about brown? Now I want you to add at least another few slides. And this is all about technology used to reducing human impact. Okay, so you're spending this time talking about what technology your civilization is using in order to reduce their impact on their world. So if you want to move your civilization forward in, a few hundred years and say, hey, we just went through an industrial revolution, we've polluted all the air and the water, we've got to come up with some new technology to reduce our impact on our planet. Great, that would be terrific. Or if you want to say we're super primitive, we still only have a couple hundred people in our civilization, but we're reducing our impact by developing technology that allows us to reduce our carbon footprint. There's 100 different examples. We've seen some of those through the videos that we've watched during this week. That's what I want you focused on here. What technology is your civilization using to reduce human impact? The things I want you to focus on are still these, though. I still want you to focus on what your civilization, what technology they're using to reduce their impact on the climate, on natural hazards and natural resources. So can they reduce their human impact by preventing some natural hazards? Can they reduce their human impact by preserving natural resources and maintaining the same climate? Those are all examples of technology. I want you to cover all three of these again in these slides. Don't just tell me that they created something to pull carbon dioxide out of the air and so now we're all happy, hunky-dory, and we're good. How are they helping the climate, natural resources, and natural hazards? How are they reducing the human impact of those three things? That's what I want you to focus on. Okay, I hope that helps draw things out. I'm happy to take any questions, but I'm gonna stop recording for now. You can go back and watch that video if you're still struggling.